Joining me right now is former Reagan economic advisor and Laffer Associates chairman and founder, Art Laffer. Art, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. It seems like this talk of another stimulus plan is boosting small cap stocks. That's really where we're seeing more outperformance. What's your take on what Mnuchin has released?
Well, I don't know what Mnuchin really has released, but I'm glad it does not include unemployment insurance. But $916 billion is a lot of money, Maria. And when you think about how much we've already put into this in a panic state initially, the CARES Act, you've got to think of the consequences for this type of debt overload that's going to happen in the long term, which will reduce economic growth. So I hope they're very, very careful in spending only those things that are really necessary and making sure that this economy is not shackled going forwards. It's a very serious issue. We've gone from about 45% of GDP in debt in 2007 to about 100+ % right now, and it's going up at a very rapid rate, and that will have consequences.
Consequences also as a result of potentially new policy that will undo the president's tax cut plan, his deregulatory program. What are your thoughts on where we are and what 2021 looks like as we are hearing of more shutdowns? Cuomo in New York threatening to shut down indoor dining if things worsen. California right now in its own shutdown. Assess the situation for us on the economy.
Yeah, well, right now, I think there are a lot of roadblocks in the economy. I mean, with the spike in new cases, hospitalizations, and deaths, I mean, obviously, there are going to be more shutdowns, and that's going to hurt the economy dramatically. But once you get into 2021, Maria, once you get there, let's say past April or May, and the vaccines are starting to have an effect and they're starting to relieve a lot of this tension, I think you're going to see an enormously strong economy at the end of 2021. It's going to be really, really strong, no matter what people do. I just hope they don't put so many new policies in by tax increases, regulatory policies, and all these other roadblocks that will really dampen the economic recovery that this country needs to have and should have. We need to plan ahead of time, Maria, for black swan events, not always wait and act in a panic fashion once they do occur. And, you know, that's what we need to do, planning forward.
By the way, the European Central Bank is expected to unveil its own expanded stimulus package tomorrow when Christine Lagarde has a meeting, and she's put considerable expectations out there that we're going to see stimulus in Europe. Do you see the global story improving, or do you think that the United States has decoupled?
I think I think stimulus spending right now is not the right answer. I think what you really need to do is make sure everything's cleared away for economic growth to come back. I mean, the stimulus spending is a huge amount of money. I mean, a little over $3 trillion is $10,000 per man, woman, and child that goes on debt. And if they then do the student loan forgiveness and all this other stuff, you're really going to hamstring the U.S. economy going forward. You really are. And I don't think the stimulus spending will stimulate the economy. I think really what should be done is lifting up all the restrictions on the economy and letting people go back to work once the vaccines are hit, once they're in place. That's the way to go. And I hope that's what we do.
Independence and freedom, the way of America. Art, you're working on a mortgage insurance product to help people who become unemployed and can't make their mortgage payments, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah, Alan Dershowitz and I wrote a piece in the Wall Street Journal, by the way, which just outlines a very simple, very straightforward, catastrophic mortgage insurance when unemployment rates go above 10%. In other words, instead of having to scream and holler and people getting all panicked, you should have plans in place for what happens when a black swan event occurs. This can be funded privately, mandated by the government, but funded privately, so that if you have a black swan event like we did with the pandemic, it would automatically guarantee people who are out of work mortgages for 6 months as a stopgap right away. So that's the way I think we should go, and I think it makes a lot of sense.
All right, Art. Great to see you this morning. Come back soon. Great to talk with you, Art Laffer.
Say hello to Dagan and Steve for me, please. I didn't hear a word from them.
You're right. You're right. And we're going to get back to them coming up. Thank you so much, Art.